execution of a birth certificate sound like a consolation prize or a consolation move? Well, since I'm gonna do this, I might as well. That's not why you sign a birth certificate.
I didn't know I couldn't take my name back off.
I asked her specifically, I said, when I was going, have you been seeing anybody else? She said no. I asked her again, I asked her again, I asked her again. Finally said yes, she was talking to another guy when I was gone.
How did you find out Miss Valentine was pregnant?
I came home one night and she had somebody living with her. I ain't never met
Oh,
the man
you're
one day
lying.
in my life.
Wait, you said
You
you
didn't
came
come home one night.
Yes, I
Because
came
you never
home one
lived
night.
with
She
me.
didn't even know I was coming.
Ms. Brewington is here to prove that Mr. Lee is the biological father of her 3-year-old son, Giovanni. She claims Mr. Lee has been a father to Giovanni since birth, but now denies paternity to avoid paying child support. Mr. Lee, on the other hand, insists he has always known Giovanni is not his son and accuses Ms. Brewington of using him for money. You won't believe where this is going.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Brewington versus Lee.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Brewington, you are here to prove your 3-year-old son, Giovanni, is Mr. Lee's biological child, and you claim Mr. Lee has been a father to your son since the day he was born and is denying paternity because he wants to avoid paying child support.
Can you believe this back and forth? Ms. Brewington claims she conceived Giovanni in February, around her birthday, and Valentine's Day, when she says they were intimate. Mr. Lee refutes this, insisting they were not sexually active during that time. The plot thickens.
Your Honor, I conceived my son in February. My birthday is February 1st.
All right.
And from the 1st until about Valentine's Day, we were,
Take me back to the day you found out you were pregnant.
Found out that I was pregnant. I actually went to the doctor to just re-up on my birth control. They said, oh, you actually missed your last shot. I didn't even realize that they said that they had to do a pregnancy test before they could go ahead with the birth control.
The suspense is killing me. Ms. Brewington recalls Mr. Lee's change in attitude once he found out the baby was a boy, claiming he then expressed love and insisted on naming the child. She offered a DNA test at the hospital, but Mr. Lee declined. Just wait for the next twist.
As soon as he found out that my son was a boy, he's like, oh, that's my boy, that's my boy. I love him. I had given birth because he had work, but he showed right up. He actually didn't even, they asked about the birth certificate and everything. He signed the birth certificate. He named my son. He was like, no, I'm not letting you give my son no dumb name. I actually told him I was like, you don't want to wait until we do a DNA test. I offered the DNA test in the hospital.
You signed the birth certificate, right?
Yes, I did.
If you had all this denial.
This just keeps getting better. Despite his doubts, Mr. Lee signed Giovanni's birth certificate. He claims he did not know he could not remove his name later, leading to Judge Lake questioning the logic behind his decision. The judge's response is priceless.
In my head, it was like, we already had a previous child. I'm gonna be in this child's life regardless.
You're making an execution of a birth certificate sound like a consolation prize or a consolation move. Well, since I'm gonna do this, I might as well. That's not why you sign a birth certificate.
I didn't know I couldn't take my name back off. I wouldn't have signed it.
So you weren't aware of the law. What I'm saying is, it just doesn't make any sense that you had absolutely no thought that this child could be yours.
The comparisons are striking. Ms. Brewington points out the resemblance between Giovanni and Mr. Lee, showing a photo comparison. Mr. Lee acknowledges some similarities, but remains unconvinced. The tension is building to a climax.
Oh, he is adorable.
And that's Jay.
And this is Mr. Lee as a child on the right.
Yes.
And you say you see a definite resemblance
between them two, yes.
They're light skinned.
When you look at this beautiful young boy, you really don't believe he's yours now that he's here in the world.
No.
They got the same hairline, nose.
And so, but after you sign the birth certificate, do you then go forward being a father to Giovanni? Like, do you step up for him?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can feel her frustration. Ms. Brewington expresses frustration over Mr. Lee's denial and the emotional toll on her and Giovanni. Judge Lake empathizes with the difficulty of the situation. Emotions are running high.
And I can't wait, because the devil is a liar and this is Lucifer, so stop. No, I'm not.
Well, you might be the devil then. We'll see.
You all are a lot. And you talking about him like a dog, Miss Brewington. You know you love that man. It's so obvious. I don't know why we in here. You got all the snap.
I'm just saying.
And all you gonna do is snap back. Right back over there.
No, Your Honor.
Because you love that man.
The judge drops some wisdom. Judge Lake highlights the impact of the situation on Giovanni, urging Mr. Lee to consider the child's feelings and the importance of resolving the paternity question respectfully. Her next point is crucial.
Because Giovanni's 3. He calls you daddy. I could only imagine if his soul and spirit could truly process the fact that the man that I look at and I say, Daddy, when I come running up, is standing in a courtroom right now, clowning my mother, but also denying me.
This is the moment of truth. The DNA test results reveal that.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Lee, you are not the father.
Told you.
Mr. Walls kicks things off by accusing Ms. Walker of being a serial cheater and denying being the father of her child. Not only that, but he's also suing her for not returning his car. Ms. Walker claps back, saying Mr. Walls is indeed the father of her 3-year-old daughter, Adriana, and she's ready to prove it today. Judge Lake gets right into it by asking how this roller coaster of a relationship started. Buckle up, because this ride is just getting started.
Mr. Walls, you say that after spending a short time away from Ms. Walker, you caught her with someone else's hands in her cookie jar. You say Ms. Walker is a serial cheater and there is no way you are her child's father.
Yes,
All right, Ms. Walker, you say Mr. Walls is a sweet-talking liar who knows very well he's the father of your 3-year-old daughter, Adriana, and you intend to prove that today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Things just keep getting wilder. Judge Lake questions the seriousness of their relationship, especially since Mr. Walls didn't seem excited about the pregnancy. Ms. Walker admits they were separated when she got pregnant, and Mr. Walls confirms he was absent for about 30 days. Apparently, their relationship was more friends with benefits than anything serious. And there's more drama to come, stay tuned.
So when she told you she was pregnant and it was your child, you had doubts?
Yeah.
Your Honor, when I told her I was pregnant, and he had said, well, I need to take a DNA test because he said he didn't trust me.
Because when I was gone for them 30 days, she admitted to cheating. I asked her specifically, I said, when I was gone, have you been seeing anybody else? She said no. I asked her again, I asked her again, I asked her again. Finally said yeah, she was talking to another guy when I was gone.
This story just gets crazier. Ms. Walker admits being in the car with another man, but insists it was a family member checking on her since she couldn't reach Mr. Walls. Mr. Walls is not buying it and reiterates his doubts about being the father. The argument between them shows just how deep the mistrust runs. But hold on, the drama is far from over.
Right here, the car was in front of your house.
Right, in front
you was
of
in the
my
car,
house.
right? You was in the
I
car.
admit cheating because I was not cheating when I got.
Was there
What
a
you doing-
man in
what
the
you
car
doing in the car with him
Guess
then?
what?
What you doing in the car with him then?
Was a family member.
Yeah, get the
It was
boy,
one
I'll
of my
tell you
family
the
members
truth.
came over
Boy.
to check on me because I was calling him the same day because
If I had a nickel. Me and my kid's mama, we was still living together when I was talking to her.
This just keeps getting more tangled. During Ms. Walker's pregnancy, Mr. Walls was completely absent. No doctor's appointments, no support, not even at the birth. Ms. Walker confirms she was on her own the entire time. Mr. Walls claims Ms. Walker didn't inform him about the birth in time. The plot thickens, and there's more drama ahead.
Throughout the pregnancy, you were by yourself?
yes, Your Honor.
He didn't help you go to doctor appointments or any
Your
of that
Honor.
kind of stuff?
Nothing. He was not
Was
there
he
for
at
no-
the birth? Is he
You
on the
wanna
birth
know
certificate?
why I wasn't at the birth?
His name
Let's
was on
not
the birth
get there.
certificate, no.
Let's not get there why I wasn't at the birth. Let's
He
get that
came.
together.
He came after I had a baby. He came at 7 o'clock that night.
You called me 7 o'clock that
No,
day.
no.
Your Honor,
No.
this woman called me. She called me and said I had the baby.
What a revelation. Judge Lake points out Mr. Walls' ongoing relationship with another woman as a reason for his unavailability during Ms. Walker's labor and delivery. Ms. Walker insists she called Mr. Walls when her water broke, but he didn't respond. Judge Lake emphasizes the importance of honesty in her courtroom. You won't believe what happens next.
We know what's happening here.
Well, that may be true a little
Yeah, that's
May
what.
be true a little
I major in truth in this courtroom. We know. I'm from Detroit too,
I know that's
so
right.
you can't out-talk me.
know 100% that he is the father. Because when we went out for the first time, 'cause he was the motorcycle club, and we went there and stuff like that, we was talking and we were having a good time, a good night. And one thing leads to the next. I'm on the pool table.
Oh, it was
And we did not use
operating hours?
Huh?
Nah.
You have to hear this expert's explanation. Dr. Tasha Rogers, an OBGYN, explains Kuvaid syndrome, where men experience pregnancy symptoms like nausea and vomiting when their partners are pregnant. She describes how this phenomenon is hormonally driven and varies in intensity. Dr. Rogers confirms it's a real syndrome with a scientific basis, but clarifies it has no bearing on paternity. The courtroom's reaction to this is priceless.
To something that dad doesn't even notice, like love handles, and he figures he's getting a little bigger because mom's eating more, to nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. So it does certainly exist.
So it's a real syndrome. It's a real thing.
Yes.
There's like scientific basis for it.
We know that hormonally, males get an increase in female hormone. They get an increase in estrogen and a few more.
When a
female
woman's
hormones.
pregnant?
Yeah.
Now this is crucial. Judge Lake addresses Mr. Walls' lawsuit for $2,500, claiming he lent Ms. Walker his car, which she never returned. Ms. Walker argues that Mr. Walls gave her the car to use for her doctor's appointments during pregnancy. Judge Lake needs to decide if the car was a loan or a gift. The verdict is just around the corner.
You say you lent Miss Walker your car.
Yes.
and never got it back?
No.
Explain.
In my heart, you know, I'm a big old softy. You know, in my heart, I was like, I'm gonna give Miss Walker this car.
You gonna give her this car, or you're going to let her use it?
I'm gonna let her use it.
He gave me the car, Your Honor.
The anticipation is building. Ms. Walker hopes the paternity test will prove Mr. Walls is the father so he can start supporting their child. She admits she can't take care of her daughter alone and needs his help. Judge Lake asks if Ms. Walker has anything to say to Mr. Walls before the results are read. The moment of truth is next.
To step up to the plate and do what you gotta do for your child. I just need help. I can't just take care of her by myself. I can't make her by myself.
Is there anything you'd like to say to Mr. Walls before?
I just want to say, if it come back and says yours, I just need an apology. If it come back and says it's not yours, I'll give you an apology.
So early in court, Ms. Walker, you said that there's absolutely no way it could be anybody else.
No way.
The tension is palpable. The DNA results reveal that.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Walls, you are not her father. Ms. Walker, I gave you an opportunity. At least 5.
Well, I apologize.
Oh boy, can you believe what we're about to witness? Judge Lake kicks things off by introducing the roller coaster of a case. Valentin vs. Jordan. Ms. Valentin is here, all guns blazing, to prove that Mr. Jordan is indeed the biological father of her 3.5-month-old son, Michael Jordan. Mr. Jordan, on the other hand, is waving around a mysterious text message, like it's his golden ticket to freedom. And that's just the beginning of this wild ride.
Ms. Valentin, you are here to prove your 3.5-month-old son, Michael Jordan, is the defendant's biological child. You claim Mr. Jordan did not deny your son until you moved on and began dating other men. Mr. Jordan, you claim you have always known you are not Michael's biological father after discovering a text message Ms. Valentin sent to another man.
Wow, that was both surprising and oddly charming. Judge Lake and the audience react to Ms. Valentin's unique taste in men. She insists Mr. Jordan is handsome, but has that special dash of ugly she finds irresistible. This lighthearted banter is a funny break in the otherwise serious proceedings. But don't get too comfortable, because it doesn't stay light for long.
I think that's a first. I've never heard that. You say you like your men with a dash of ugly?
Yes, it's only a dash. He's still a very handsome man, and he has a very beautiful smile, but he still has a dash of ugly. Just a dash. He's not ugly. He has a dash of ugly.
Okay.
He's very handsome, but you know.
My day, we used to say we don't like them too pretty.
Exactly.
You all, it's a dash of ugly now.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
What an incredible twist. Mr. Jordan paints a vivid picture of finding another man at Ms. Valentin's house, which really fuels his doubts about being the father. He describes his suspicion upon seeing the disheveled state of her bedroom and a stranger making a quick exit. This detailed account adds a whole new layer to his request for a paternity test. You won't believe the next part. It's like a movie.
I appreciate you being detail-oriented. Ms. Valentin, so we know you were having sexual relationship. How did you find out Ms. Valentin was pregnant?
I came home one night and she had somebody living with her. I ain't never met
Oh,
the man
you're
one day in my
lying.
life.
Wait,
You're
you
lying.
said
You
you
didn't
came
come home one night.
Yes, I
Because
came
you never
home
lived
one night.
with
She
me.
didn't even know I was coming.
Whoa, that was quite a revelation. Enter Elijah Krebs, Mr. Jordan's star witness, who testifies about seeing a parade of men entering and leaving Ms. Valentin's home. His testimony backs up Mr. Jordan's infidelity claims and raises the stakes even higher. This new evidence really cranks up the intensity of the dispute. Just wait, there's more to come. It's like a courtroom thriller.
What do you know about this situation?
Well, I actually got an exhibit I'd like to show you.
Please step over to your exhibit.
I go to my friend's house. He lived in the same apartment complex she did. He lived right over here. She lived right over here. And in order for me to get to and from his house, I would have to go this way to go to the bus stop.
And when you would walk past, what is your testimony?
I seen men coming in and out of her house. Multiple occasions.
Your Honor.
On multiple occasions, Your Honor.
Did you catch that bombshell? Judge Lake steps in, admonishing both parties for their over-the-top behavior and reminds them of the real issue, their child's well-being. Her frustration is palpable as she urges them to focus on resolution and cooperation. This moment is a stern wake-up call in the midst of their chaos. The real surprise is just around the corner. You won't want to miss it.
You all are proving why I always say sex is not an after-school activity. It's not an extracurricular activity. It's not soccer. It's not baseball. It's not bowling. It's serious. You don't just get on the computer and decide, oh, I'm gonna have sex today, because it turns into this. And now we've got a little person. Look at this beautiful baby. I don't want him to grow up in this level of negativity and drama.
That was shocking. The big reveal is here. The DNA test results are out.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Jordan, you are the father.
Holy moly, what an intense start to the case of Ashley v. Bullock. Ms. Ashley is on a mission, claiming Mr. Bullock is her biological father. Mr. Bullock, however, is waving the nope, not me flag, citing some medical mumbo-jumbo. Buckle up, folks, because this roller coaster is just leaving the station.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Ashley versus Bullock.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Miss Ashley, you say that after years of searching, you finally located the man you believe to be your biological father. You say that after finding Mr. Bullock, he embraced you as his daughter before cruelly rejecting you the same way he did when you were a child. You say you have no doubt he's your biological father and plan to prove it today.
What an argument. Judge Lake jumps in to ask Mr. Bullock the million-dollar question. Why bother looking for Ashley if he doubted she was his kid? Mr. Bullock gives a half-romantic, half-tragic explanation about signing the birth certificate out of love for her mother. It's like a plot twist straight out of a romance novel gone wrong. The tension builds further as the courtroom drama unfolds.
I was there when she was born. I signed the birth certificate. I was in love with her mother. I wanted her to be my daughter. But
were you married to her mother?
I was married to her mother, yes.
When she was born, you were married?
No, ma'am.
Well, when I found him, which was on Facebook, I wrote him an email on Facebook and told him, you know, if you know who I am, please contact me.
So you submitted that message that you're speaking. My name is Ebony Ashley. I was born to your mother's name. I have a brother by the name of your brother's name.
Did you see that? Ms. Ashley isn't having any of Mr. Bullock's timeline shenanigans. She fires back, accusing him of spinning tales and misleading her all along. The frustration is real, and it's spilling over like a pot of boiling water. The debate heats up even more, and you can cut the tension with a knife.
I was with your mom, but I don't know. But we can handle
this.
That's
what I said.
No.
That's exactly what I said.
No, what you said was, come visit me and my wife.
Right.
Let me take you and meet all my friends. You bring me down there with my kids. I see meet your coworker, but you not my dad, though, right? You playing a role like you're playing one right now. Come on now.
Your Honor, I wanted her to be my daughter. I was there when she was born. I signed the birth certificate.
Okay, so how embarrassing is this? I tell him, bring him to my family, meet everybody in my family, meet my kids, and now he's screaming he ain't my daddy.
What a confession. Judge Lake presses Mr. Bullock on why he signed the birth certificate if he knew Ashley wasn't his daughter. Mr. Bullock admits he did it out of love for her mother, hoping for a happy family future. It's a bittersweet confession that adds another layer to this already complicated case. The drama is far from over, and there's plenty more to uncover.
I met her mother right here. So I met her mother in July now.
In July?
Yes, ma'am. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ebony's supposed to have been born right here in November. So I figured she was born in November that early. She should have been in an incubator or something. She was 9 pounds. Now, there's no way.
I was 9
that's
pounds.
mine. I mean, come on. I use your words, Your Honor. That is a huge window.
Yes,
that is a very huge window.
Did you expect that? Ms. Ashley isn't buying Mr. Bullock's explanations. She feels he only accepted her when it suited him and is now trying to backtrack. Mr. Bullock stands firm, reiterating his belief that Ashley isn't his daughter. The confrontation intensifies, and it's clear this courtroom battle is far from over.
Say you signed the birth certificate.
Yes.
Why?
Why would you do that?
Because I was in love with her mother.
Did you believe Ebony was yours? Miss Ashley was your daughter when you signed the birth certificate?
No, I knew she wasn't.
Oh, okay. Now I'm getting a
No, I knew
newsflash.
she wasn't.
You're saying I knew she wasn't mine because of the way the timeline, but because I loved her mother and thought we were going to be a family. Miss Ashley, did you ever hear that any other man could be your biological father?
No, ma'am.
What a reveal. Mr. Bullock provides an alibi, explaining his absence during Ashley's childhood. He blames legal hurdles and third-party interference for not being able to take custody. Ms. Ashley, however, remains skeptical, questioning his efforts. The truth is about to come out, and you won't want to miss it.
Where did you go? Why did you leave? Why did we get adopted?
I explained to you,
Where were you?
I was at work when you got taken. Oh,
and
I tried to get you back. See, I tried to, what I supposed to do? The law steps in.
Every time he gets around, we argue, and then he turns around and does something like, for example, happy birthday. He wants to put on my post. We argue, and then he hits me on Facebook.
That says happy birthday to a special daughter. Even though me and you argue like hell, you're still my little girl, and I will always love you, so enjoy your day.
This is getting emotional. Judge Lake reads a birthday message from Mr. Bullock to Ms. Ashley, which is as heartfelt as a Hallmark card. The message adds another layer of confusion about Mr. Bullock's stance. Despite the sentiment, Mr. Bullock maintains he always knew Ashley wasn't his daughter. Get ready for the next twist in this emotional saga.
Write her these kinds of messages on her birthday, and now you're standing before me saying, I know for certain that is not my biological child.
I have always known, Your Honor, wasn't such a messed up person towards me.
Are you suggesting that if Ashley weren't expressing this level of confusion and anger towards you, embraced her and never said a word?
Yes, ma'am.
How am I supposed to be?
You're supposed to act like a human being, like a decent human being.
That was informative. Dr. Samantha Brown Parks steps in to drop some medical knowledge on the courtroom. She explains what a disrupted testicle means and its impact on fertility, confirming that fathering a child is still possible with one functioning functioning testicle. The revelations keep coming, and there's more ahead.
That suggests that during his service,
A hand grenade.
a hand grenade
A train
exploded, and one of his testicles was injured. He then consulted a medical doctor, was told that he had a disrupted testicle, and that he may not be able to father children.
So a disrupted testicle is kind of a broad term, meaning that something has caused the sperm to not be able to get out of the testes during intercourse.
Shocking results! The air is thick with anticipation as Judge Lake reads the DNA test results.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Bullock, you are not the father. I'm sorry, Miss Ashley.
It's okay.